and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I am Kellie de Leon with Treasure Data, and we are partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT CDO IQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers in a series of interviews. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Prachi Priya, Chief Data Officer at Team One. Welcome. I'm so excited to talk with you.
Thank you, Kellie. I'm really glad to be here.
Can you kind of share your perspective on what role technology plays in being a data-driven business?
I would say that it has to be a strong partnership and collaboration with the technology team to make all of the data-focused projects successful. Technology is the enabler that helps us achieve all our objectives. Again, I'll reiterate, it should not be enamored. The objective should not be to build the next technology or the next tool, but connecting it to the outcome. But it will be done through partnership with technology.
So important. And I think, it's about keeping those business objectives at, in the center of what you're doing. And it's not about the shiniest objects or getting too enamored with the technology, but making sure that you understand what you're trying to achieve with it and seeing it as an enabler for sure.
I think it's important to promote few things. How do we encourage everyone to use data and not use data, experiment with data by bringing it into everyday action, and then receiving training or learning how to use the tools and technology at hand to access data, to foster critical thinking. So technology is a partner in there too. That together, it helps create that environment that would promote questioning biases and displaying that healthy degree of skepticism, but will still celebrate that critical thinking and curiosity and the desire to question things. So that helps drive. So that's why I mentioned that it's the partnership that drives this data-driven team, that data and technology is the biggest enabler in that sense.
Absolutely. That sort of driving forward and curiosity mindset, both kind of having the data, but also questioning it at the same time. And all of that I think is so critical. And it kind of leads into the next question that I wanted to ask you, which is really about innovation. There's so much innovation that can be driven within a business that can, based on data, the insights that are driven, or even the innovation that you can do because of the data that's available to you for things like personalization or other things like that. So I want to talk a little bit about the role that data can play in innovating, particularly around the customer experience. Can you share a little bit about how you see data can be leveraged as a catalyst for innovation to, create better customer experience, to, really drive loyalty for target customers?
Absolutely. You're talking about my most favorite topic. Again, data is incredibly I'm a tongue twister. It's an incredibly powerful tool. There you go, I said it. And that, in terms of driving innovation, in terms of improving the customer experience in that experience that we are talking, like extremely, by leveraging data. And again, when I'm saying that, I'm assuming that my data has a single source of truth. My data is quality data, and we have built tools on top of that to access the data in a timely fashion and enabling getting those insights in a better way. So when we have that, it's easier to develop any new products or services, optimizing the marketing strategy and creating that personalized and engaging customer experience. Data is that tool that can help that. And that's the one key way to leverage data, but that we've done that for innovation, is through use of advanced analytics, through machine learning. When you're analyzing large amount of customer data, that's when you can identify those patterns and insights that can help you better understand your customer in terms of its behavior, its preferences and needs. And then also understanding the behavior across social media, like web analytics, surveys, and other sources. That helps when you understand them better. That's when you will serve them better and you will provide them experiences that is personalized and that will make sense to them. You can build more targeted and personalized campaigns, not redundant and not talking to people who you don't want to talk to you. Only talk to people who wants to talk to you. And so that's data is the enabler, and it drives those innovation and also optimization of our whole pricing and promotional strategy to better meet that needs of my target customers.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think, we talked a little bit earlier about breaking down silos, and you alluded to the fact that in order to have this data-driven innovation around the customer experience, it just assumes that you have to have that foundational layer of a complete customer 360 that's across the business. Because if you're only looking at this little aspect, then whatever personalization you're trying to drive or, other decisions that you're trying to make could just as likely be wrong because you're only looking at part of the picture. So making sure that you have that full lens. And, you alluded to it too. I think, we think a lot about the customer experience being around, marketing touch points or sales touch points and all of the personalization that can come from all of the channels being connected. You alluded to social media and email and web, and all of those things are so critical too. But then some of the other, back office innovations, so to speak, that can come from pricing strategy, product innovation, insights that you're bringing from your customer data into your next, level of what's the next product we should make, or demand planning to make sure that you're having the, the right products in your brick and mortar, whatever the case might be for your type of business. And so I think there's so much innovation that is possible, but it has to begin, as you said, as having that foundational layer of all of the data all connected together.
Absolutely. And Kelly, I'm loving that we are both passionate about this and both nerding out on the assumptions, the things, or the technologies that you need to enable this. I'm loving this conversation.
It is. You can definitely geek out on it. It's easy to do. I want to ask, we've been talking a lot about, frameworks and our philosophical points of view on these kinds of things, but I'm wondering if you have a favorite real world use case, or maybe a couple that involve data really bringing change to an organization, whether that's, something around customer experience or something else. I'd love to hear a really great real world example that brings this to life for people.
Okay, which ones? I have a lot of favorite ones. I'm trying to think. I can give an example of how we used data through doing this whole customer journey mapping. That it was amazing to see the mapping out the various touch points and interactions that the customers have with this particular brand. And the amount of insights we drove out when we did this mapping, for example, one of the insights, which was we never thought this would happen, is before, say, interacting with this brand, and I'm not naming the brand because it's a client. So before, say, interacting with this brand at the retail place, customers, 25% of customers go to a McDonald's in the area. How bizarre is that? Then we saw that. So it was interesting to see their journey with the brand and also outside the brand. And that gave us so much insight into the life of the customers that helped us, help guide how we'll talk to them. And second, it also identified all the pain points that they have when they are interacting with our brand. When they are on our website, they're getting a different message versus when they are interacting with the app. And that we could, when we did the research, we understood their frustration on why can I have the same experience across different interfaces? I'm connecting with you. So that was also enlightening to see the pain points that they have. And even when they have having one interaction with one touch point, what are things that they're not happy about? All of that, it just helped us identify areas where customers are dropping off. So we're losing customers or experiencing friction in the whole buying process. So when we have found that, we developed the new solutions, we built the new tools to address these issues, and that helped us increase our retention as well as acquire new members. I'm really proud of that whole exercise.
It sounds fantastic in the sense that you really had a moment to think about how, what's the data available to us, and what are we, what is that data telling us, but then also really understanding that customer journey and that customer experience and going through that exercise of mapping it. I think, we talk about how big these organizations are, and we were talking, in a different topic, but talking about different departments and everybody, trying to achieve their different goals. But at the end of the day, the consumer doesn't care about any of that. When we think about ourselves as consumers, we want these seamless, frictionless experiences. At Treasure Data, we talk about it as one team, one brand, that people don't want to get an email from marketing and then show up at the store and no one knows about that promotion, or call into customer service and they don't know about the sales transaction, or, all of those kinds of things. The consumer wants to be able to interact with one team and one brand, whether that's on the mobile app, on the website, in the store, on the phone. And so you have to have that data foundation and that technology foundation that can remove some of those barriers and some of that friction. And it sounds like you were working on a really interesting project to create that seamless environment.
Yeah, absolutely. And the maturity, the analytics maturity doesn't come overnight. Like, it goes through its stages where you are doing basic analytics, where descriptive, why something happened. You start with that, and then kind of go into the whole predictive analytics, where you can predict how will my consumers react if I do take this step, offer them this solution or this messaging versus other. So it's a journey. It doesn't happen overnight, but I think it's important to recognize that we need to go through that journey so that we are doing the best with our customers, serving them the right message and talking to them in the right way, while respecting the whole privacy regulations, all of the good stuff that we can also talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talk about that a lot too, that there is a maturity model or a roadmap along which your, data and analytics use cases will travel. You kind of need to get the foundational elements right, but have a plan towards where you're going, and learn and kind of build that over time. And certainly, as you said, with also with a very strong lens towards privacy and all of the important compliance and governance and security things that need to be, protected and thought through as well. So, well, with that, I mean, what an exciting thing to share that real world use case. And to me, those are the types of innovation that we all are aspiring to, whatever little area of our own, data geekdom we sit in. Those are the pieces of innovation that are driving experience and driving our world and driving insights forward, that I think get us all excited. So thank you for taking the time to join me today and just share your perspective and your experience. I've really learned a lot. So thank you so much for joining me today, Prachi.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for inviting me to this. I really enjoyed our conversation and geeking out on all things data. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews. And thank you, Prachi, and have a great day.